1 Timothy 1. He says, "This charge I commit unto thee, son Timothy, according to the prophecies which went before on thee, what thou by them mightest war a good warfare." God's not calling wimps. He's calling and looking for warriors that will dare to contend for your faith. When did God not stop? When did He stop being enough and sufficient? He says, holding faith and a good conscience, which some, having put away concerning faith, have made shipwreck. When we're at the point of where we're struggling with our faith, Lord, I believe, I told you last week that God will honor honest unbelief before He'll honor put on faith. This man knew where he was coming from. He said, "Lord, I believe. I don't know if I believe. But help me, Lord. Help me. My son is demon-possessed, and your disciples couldn't do it. I'm crying for help. Help me! Help me!" The story I just read to you, your cries have awoken the Master. Hallelujah. Can I tell you with confidence today that your prayer has already, your voice has been heard, and you've awoken the Master. Can we just be patient for a minute? Please try to be patient until God has done the good work to teach us the lessons that He wants us to learn. Did you notice He didn't rebuke them first on this one? He has rebuked others. He says they cried to Him. They first asked, "Carest the Master?" We woke Him up and said, "Master, don't you care that we're going to perish here? Don't you care for our feelings? We've got family, we've got friends. Don't you even care? Don't you?" Nobody here's ever asked the question, "Don't you even care? Don't you see where I am? Don't you see what I'm going through? Don't you even care?" Jesus said, He got up. He got up, wiped the fog out of His eyes, and looked at the winds boisterous, and He spoke to the winds. "Peace, be still." And immediately there was a great calm. The disciples are going, "Wow! What kind of man is He?" I wonder this morning, what kind of God are we serving? We're not playing church anymore, honey. This is not for the beginners. This is for people that know how to contend for your faith. But the test usually will come first. The lessons we'll learn later on. Where are we today? All I can tell you that I felt very impulsive, very impressed all week long. Tell them that their prayer has already awoken the Master. Your prayers have awoken the Master. Heaven is stirred because of your... Heaven is stirred because of your cry. I've never been under more of an anointing than what I'm under right now. I believe if heaven, I'm speaking on behalf of heaven this morning, if Jesus was here, He would tell you that your prayers have awoken the Master. Please, please, just be patient until He works out the details.
It's Jesus.
Daniel prayed, and for 21 days he didn't get an answer. But I'm going to tell you, by the time the angels got to Daniel, he said they had to tell him, he said, for 21 days, the first day you prayed, I heard you. I believe the Lord can tell every one of us, from the first time you prayed, I already heard you. But you see, the enemy of our soul, the one that's warring against us, afflicting the children, killing many people by giving them no hope. That's why I asked, have you seen the movie, God's Not Dead? Because if we don't get a hold of the faith thing, then we'll begin to make shipwreck out of our faith. And what is left when you have no faith? I tell you what's in store. When you no more have any hope, you don't have any confidence, you don't have any faith, you'll draw the conclusion that God's dead and there is no other God and nobody even cares for me. That's the conclusion you'll draw. God's dead. When God is dead and there's absolutely no hope, what are you going to do? I'll tell you what you're going to do. That path, that spiral is always downward. When you don't believe that you can have hope in God, then the next thing is going to be immorality, or it's going to be drugs, it's going to be alcohol, it'll be perversion. All of these things fall into line when people have no hope. So what's got to happen today? We've got to build one another up in our most holy faith. I'm here to tell you, God's heard your cry. Your cries have awoken and stirred heaven immensely. Peace, peace, be still. And immediately there was a great calm. When did he ever stop being enough for us? I get good news, he never has. He's always enough. You'll never reach, let me help you this morning. You'll never reach the place in your spiritual walk with God where you don't need him. If you think you're going to climb over, finally reach the top of the mountain and never need God or never talk about faith again, you are sadly mistaken. You'll never reach that to a point where you don't need God. He's all we got, and let me tell you, he is sufficient.